Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about ATNM. Now make sure before you move forward to drop a like on this video to help this channel grow. Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on to receive the latest out of the videos I post out. I'm going to go through technical analysis here first, and then I'm going to go through news and then what I think about the company and how it will phase out. So without further ado, looking in terms of the 1-day intervals here, you get to see that MACD might actually be a little bit decreasing in terms of that strength. The signal line and MACD are almost getting closer to touching, and that might be a little bit of a dangerous sign there. Volumes have decreased quite a little day by day, so that's another dangerous sign there. William percent R is sitting a little bit towards the overbought situation here. An average directional index is sitting in at a warning sign, really close to 50, where that's usually a sign of sell. Now, here's the good news as well. Good news. So the stock price is above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. 10 SMA is above 30 MA, which is all very bullish. Now, if we're to the stock to dip a little, the trading action zone is really right under the price, so that means if it does dip, you might actually see a positive reversal right away. So going on towards the 1 hour interval here, what we get to look at is that the MACD here is curving upwards, and that's usually a good sign, but we want to make sure that something like this doesn't happen where it gets rejected. But it looks like it actually somewhat confirmed that it is a positive MACD here, and that's usually a signal for a possible breakout. Average directional index supports showing that there is a possibility of an increase of a trend forming. The William percent R is sitting in very close towards overbought again, and momentum is very close to zero. Now the stock price is under the 50 SMA and it crossed it yesterday. That's a bearish sign. Stock price here in red, so the 30 EMA and it crossed the 10 SMA. And so the 30 EMAs now is above the 10 SMA in the 1 hour interval. Again, bearish sign. But the stock is above the VWAP, so that is a bullish sign. Moving forward here, we're going to get to look quickly in terms of the moving average, and we get to see the stock price is quite above the moving average here in the upper bands and the lower bands. So that might be a little bit dangerous. We're looking at 0.46 to 0.4 pullback value, although I don't expect it to hit that sometime tomorrow. Now in terms of the trend here has been very strong, and basically it hasn't been broken yet. It almost tested it today, sitting in 0.51, but quickly recovered nicely. And still the trend hasn't been broken yet. I don't see any significant trend here. Perhaps this could be more of a cup happening here, but nothing much more that is very significant and stands out. Now going on towards Fibonacci retracements quickly. Identify supports and resistance, and we get to see there is a current resistance on 0.58. Now there is a support at 0.55 as well traditionally, and then there is another one sitting in 0.53, and then a Fibonacci support at 0.52, and then somewhere closer to 0.48 to 0.47 is another support, and of course under that is 0.43. Now in terms of resistance above that mark that I just mentioned, there is as well 0.59, and then there is one as well in 0.61, and above that is around the 0.65 or 66 mark. Moving on now towards news. This is the company's presentation here. Before moving on to the company's presentation, I'm going to go quickly towards showing you where the company's about. So they're a biopharma company with many different candidates that are actually open. This one is in phase 3, so there could be a lot of PRs there that are positive. So basically what they're trying to go for is cancer here, colon cancer, prostate cancer, and brain cancer. So there's different as well other things they're looking at as well to treat. So that there's very interesting in terms of the company itself. Many files open. Taking a quick look, yep, so this is exactly what I mentioned. They do have different collaborations here, like Columbia University, for instance, GenTX. And Astellas, for instance. There's a lot of different ones. So one of them, so basically the main focus is here is SBU opportunity, ARC therapeutics and combinations, and AWE platforms. A bit more technical data. I'm not going to go through it, but definitely something very worth looking into if you're looking in terms of different understanding better what the product you're investing in is. Now, potential top line data in Q4, that's a different coming in, PR coming in later on down the road, so that would be very significant. Taking another look here, we get to look in terms of trail highlights objective for this one here. Currently, they have, I believe they are on track to reaching all this stuff. Now, the next one will probably be, I'm not sure if this one has actually been out or not, Explore Lombat. Iomab-ACT with other UC Davis Gentexas. That is another interesting one. Now, trying to quickly scan for any other PRs that could be significant. 20 to 21 for here. There could be as well some other ones. So they're quite busy. So there's a lot of PRs to be expected on this. And if they play it right, the price of the stock can really jump quite nicely. Other news here for different milestones, such as top-line data from ad hoc analysis. That's supposed to be expected sometime soon. Full top-line data, BLA filings. I'm not going to ramble on and on about different PR opportunities for this one, but it looks actually great here. Moving on to quarterly reports, let's quickly just take a quick look in terms of the last quarter reports. We seem to be on track in terms of their submissions, so that's a good sign. Some companies are sometimes late on them. So moving around just about here, and we get to see total liabilities versus equities have been decreased. Their cash, the total assets have been decreased a little there. Although the liability has decreased, they're sitting in somewhere 8,364 compares to 11.6 thousand. A little bit of decrease there, but the net loss per share has been halved, especially with COVID going on. That's good news. So going in from 0.03 from 0.05 net loss. Now, the net loss here seems to be almost identical, so it could be something related to their share and share dilution. So weighted average shares of common stock, there has been increase of shares there, so that's a little bit of an interesting sign to see. Moving on, if there's anything here that is interesting, I want to see how much cash they have on hand. Okay, should have it here. Net cash provided by financial activities, that's double, so they're sitting in a little bit less cash than before, but I don't see an offering needed on this, especially since they're sitting in at 6.3 thousand, and that number is amounts in thousands, and their net loss is around 5.6. I can see that they still would survive at least another quarter. Annual reports here in order to determine their year-to-year growth, which is really significant, especially in times where COVID is hitting. That is interesting. It's not actually even showing it up on here, so it could be. Yeah, that was the 10. Okay, well, that is interesting. But quickly looking into it, I'll have to look in terms of the balance sheets for this company. Do they have financial data? Nope, they don't. But taking a quick look, just the amendments or third time is a charm. Yep, this is the document I'm looking for. So quickly going down. Technology fails me sometimes, and it's very funny for, well, hope you find it amusing for me struggling to find it. All right. Looking here, this is the year ended 2019, so we're looking at here. Okay, so the revenues part is left out, so I'm assuming there was no revenues there. Net loss, we're looking at a little bit significant less net loss, sitting in 22 million compared to almost 4 million. Other data we can look at is okay, nothing significant here that I can get to see. Basically, total liability and equities have been decreased, so going in from 11.7 million, coming in from 4.9. Interesting to see. Now moving on towards institutional data quickly and institutional buyers. So one thing here I see on it is Sabby is still on it. Now I don't see them selling. There are known shorters. There's a bit of selling here from Raymond and James, 100% of their shares. Hanson McLean, a very small share, bought in on the 24th as well. Fidelity Market Index have almost equivalent of 800,000 combined, so that's good news. This one here coming in, nothing insignificant I see in terms of this news. And we're diving back deeper towards the news. This one was their 10K that I've just gone through. This one is 10Q, gone through. This is a quarterly one, so 8K form now. This one is 0.325 per share. This was a way ago offering. This was actually been closed all the way back a bit more than a month ago and has recovered quite nicely. So it is nothing significant there. So now let's move on towards the companies. How would I play this? So I would wait for it to at least accumulate there a little. It's been moving up and down, sitting in from above the 0.50, let's say 55 mark. Now that kind of support hasn't been tested extensively before. I would like to see it holding quite a good support before jumping in. Definitely a bit of accumulation, and especially with their recent earnings, I would like to see it to cool down before I would like to jump in. But this company seems to be a really nice growth over there, and there seems to be a lot of potential. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure you mention it down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and you have a wonderful day.